Good evening, my fellow common people. You are listening to the Common Guy Reviews, and this voice belongs to your lovely host, Pepsi. I finally finished my big box of Universal monster films. I have watched them mostly on Halloweens, but as I was only one film short, I decided to watch it right now. One of the Universal monsters is the Invisible Man, a chemist that so happens to invent a chemical that injected would slowly turn him invisible. We have many versions of this, as we have remakes of the original one once close to 2000 and beyond, leading into one made in 2020. And if we want to include all the spin-offs being Invisible Grants, the list is, well, pretty long. Being invisible is one of the oddballs of monster films, because being invisible isn't being a monster. And as we include this to the list of monstrosities we have encountered, it would be at the same ballpark as Phantom of the Opera. Rather than being a monster, we are met someone just disappearing from sight. Perhaps a wish from mankind, and not just from perverts. In today's film we are focusing to the original Invisible Man from the year 1933. This movie is American science fiction horror film directed by James Whale. It is loosely based on the H.G. Wells' 1897 novel The Invisible Man, and is produced by Universal Pictures. First thing to know is that this film is a pre-code film, meaning that before Hays Code came and told the movie industry that alcohol, drugs, sex and violence is a no-no, this movie broke the rules harder and gave us a menacing maniac that has a surprising kill count for his time. We are introduced to this man in this scene when he barges into an inn and wants a room for himself. Right away his sole presence unsettles people, as someone bandits up wearing dark black sunglasses in a winter is an unusual sight, to say the least. Dr. Jack Griffin tries to find a way to undo his previous chemical experience where he turned himself invisible. This weird man doesn't pay his rent and has also turned his room into a lab, which is too much for the owners of the inn, and after some bantering they call a constable for help. However, Jack refuses the attempts to remove him, takes off his clothes and reveals the horror that is his non-existent physical body, or so you would think. For some reason everyone is weirdly nonchalant about this.
He's invisible, that's what's the matter with him.
I guess people back then were used to see weird stuff, but in the end, Jack escapes and starts to terrorize people. And if you didn't guess by his crazy 30s Joker laugh that he's crazy, he will make sure that we know. He meets up with his former partner at some point and announces his intentions to rule the world with his invisibility. He also thinks about selling the formula for someone to make a lot of money. But mostly his motive seems to be the world domination while walking around naked. I really like this movie. It mixed in some goofiness with some serious violence. Jack kills more people than any other old villains I've seen. He casually takes out over a dozen men while they pursue him, and then even kills over 100, making a train go off trails. This dude is deadly and off his rocker, completely. Not even his love interest can persuade him to stop, and the cause is clear. The plant that Jack used to make himself invisible had a certain ingredient in it that makes you also go mad. Of course, now it's too late to explain that to him. Movie is full of goofy action scenes where Jack toys with people who cannot see him and also possess a bit more strength than the others, as he can for example just body a grown man from ground to car and also swing an adult person from their legs like it was a child. Easily one of my favorites from the box, and I also wish that you take a look at it too. The old-timey chase scenes really are worth it, and also the fact that they got so much people in it. When Jack is seen too hard to capture with small group they arrange hundreds of police to chase him, and the scene where they close into him with a lot of people is pretty impressive. Also when you watch this movie you are sure to think about practical effects. 1933 was without any digital editing, so no green screen or CGI. And it was fun to try and guess that how certain things were done. Like you could clearly tell when something was moving on a strings. But some scenes, like one where Jack's footprints appeared at the snow, was something I couldn't figure out. I had to look for it separately. Overall, this movie is pretty great. But this was my review about Invisible Man, brought to you by Common Guy Reviews, and speaking to you, your lovely host Pepsi, and I'll see you in the next review. Goodbye.